we have some really great deep dive, long form videos coming up for you over the next couple of weeks on the David Pakman Show YouTube channel. And we've been working on these mostly because of the great work that we've been doing internally with our production staff, with our intern Brian, who is here today. Everybody is working in concert. Many of these topics have been proposed by people in the audience. So during our upcoming David Pakman Show Summer Vacation, we will be releasing a deep dive long form video on classical liberalism. Classical liberalism has become very, very trendy. And I am going to make the case to you that classical liberalism is very effing conservative. And I don't know that everybody understands that. So that is going to be a great piece coming up. We will be doing a piece on the truth about voter fraud, which the right claims exists, but it's not really an issue, and voter suppression, which the left claims exists, and by and large is really an issue. That is going to be a really, really great piece. We will be talking about, in another long form piece, the myth of the violent left. You see right-wing media increasingly talking about how violent the left is when they don't like what's going on politically. It is by and large a myth. And we will also be debunking the false notion that socialism has never worked. Now, I know, Pat, that when we do this video, socialism has never worked debunked, I'll get called a communist. I don't need to be a communist or socialist to recognize that it's not true that socialism has never worked.
Sure.
And if we're going to have a conversation about economic systems, we should at least be starting with an understanding of what these economic systems really are and whether or not they have been tried and whether they have worked. If we can't even do that, what's the point of talking about capitalism, socialism, democratic socialism, Marxism, whatever? So we are going to be debunking the false notion that socialism has never worked. And you know what's crazy? I'm not even a socialist, and I'm going to be debunking that.
You don't have a dog in the fight.
I don't have a dog in the well, I guess arguably I do in the sense that I am for social democracy in the context of well-regulated capitalism.
But then I guess no one can talk about economic models unless they subscribe to those series of beliefs, right?
It's logically fallacious. It's when sometimes the anti-gay right will say, listen, gay people should really not be involved in the debate about LGBT rights because they're biased by virtue of being gay. By that same logic, shouldn't straight people not be involved in discussions about LGBT rights because they're biased because they're straight and they also could not actually see how the issue of LGBT rights affects LGBT people? It's David.
Sounds like reverse identity politics in a way, doesn't it?
David, you can't talk about Israel because you're Jewish, so your view is biased. Isn't someone who's not Jewish also going to be biased by virtue of not being Jewish? Membership in an identity group does not signify bias definitively any more or less than lack of membership in that group. Anyway, we're sort of off on a tangent, but we're going to be debunking the idea that socialism has never worked. And then later in the fall, after the vacation, we will be doing a long form piece about race and IQ. We've got a mini series about critical thinking and epistemology planned. A lot of really good stuff. So it's going to be a good couple of weeks on the David Pakman Show channel.